It's time for the weekday round of Zero Racing from Indianapolis, the historic motor speedway at Indianapolis, home of the Indy 500, and at one point the Formula One Grand Prix, although not currently. This is the circuit that was conceived for the Formula One race back in 2000, and I don't think it's undergone a lot of changes since. Maybe a little bit. Anyways, let's kick this off with running down the grid. On pole, we have Jason Monds. P2 is Matt Wheeler, who's guest starring from the Weekend series and the Weekday series. That Corvette is going to be a thing to watch for because the Corvette is very suited to the third sector of this track, as well as the beginning of the first sector, which is basically the oval. It has an estimate of 10 to 15 kilometers per hour on the Z4s at top speed, so he'll be able to make a lot of passes on the embankment. Mike Mark will start P3 for Zagato Piston, Monds' teammate. P4 on the grid is championship leader and Golden Bolt leader Genghiz. P5 is Wesley Stokes, the Team Shosha leader. P6 is Quintus Gillespie for Spalding RT. P7 is Rick Martel of Team Shosha. Debuting Stephane Gervais, who is representing Jon Slow Racing, will start 8th, ahead of Dule Markovic, the Zagato Piston entry. Independent run BMW M6 of Alex Hayes. Keep in mind the BMW M6 is another strong car here. It will also have an edge on the Z4s through the embankment, although it will be slower than the Corvette. Mike Magasevic starts P11, ahead of Dean Reimers on an all Golden Bolt row 6. And Alan Angel in the McLaren 650S will start at the back of the pack, with 13 cars on the grid. Let's kick this off. You can see the embankment in the background. This is the oval section of the track where we're starting from. And they're off. Monds is on a good start. Alex Hayes spinning in the background. He's lost control of the car. Looks like Dean Reimers has been caught up in the scuffle as well. Wheeler has not gotten one of his traditionally great starts, and it looks like Monds is going to lead into corner 1. Followed by Wheeler in the Corvette. Wes Stokes with a pretty fantastic start. He's up to 3rd. Mike Mark battling. Wheeler is off the track. And a three-way battle for second now between Con, Stokes, and Mark. And it's going to be Mike Mark, I think. Yes! The Zagato Pistons are off 1-2 here. Stokes in 3rd. 4th is Con. And then it's Quintus Gillespie in 5th place. Followed by Markovic, who's had a good start. Gervais, Martel, Magasevic, Allen, Angel, Reimers, Hayes, and Wheeler, who had the bad starts. Despite having the cars that we were talking about being able to make up a lot of ground here, we'll see if they can. This has given Jason Monds a pretty good lead here on lap number 1. Still followed by his teammate Mike Mark as the Zagato Pistons are looking for their first ever 1-2. Wesley Stokes in 3rd place ahead of Genghiz. Then it's Gillespie, Markovic, Gervais, and Martel. Magasevic, Alan Angel, Reimers, Hayes, and Wheeler. So coming across the line to complete lap 1 in 1st place is Jason Monds. 2nd place belongs to Mike Mark. 3rd place may change hands. It was Wesley Stokes. He's now under pressure from Genghiz. Con looking to get down the inside in turn 1. Not quite fast enough. These are the top 2 men in the championship as well, so this is a key fight. Gillespie and Markovic are rounding off the top 6th, followed by Gervais, Martel, Magasevic, and Angel. These are your points-paying positions. Wheeler is climbing back through the grid. He's taking Alex Hayes and now Dean Reimers. Hayes also going through as Reimers goes off the track. Wesley Stokes gets pushed a little wide, and Con is through into 3rd place. Stokes looking to make a comeback, though, in this battle that has a lot of championship implications. Still in 5th place is Gillespie. And Hell is up to 7th. Something has definitely happened to Stephane Gervais and Rick Martel. Looks like Magasevic may have also been caught up in it as well, as he's lost a spot. Let's have a look, see what happened here. Definitely looking like there may have been contact. Alright, so Gervais is looking to make a move on Markovic. Gets a little wide and gets into Martel. Magasevic gets into Martel as well. Alan Hell picks up 3 spots in the carnage. And Martel and Gervais are going to drop to the back of the pack. Monds still in the lead. Fair gap back to Mike Mark, who has a fair gap back to Genghiz. The Zagato Pistons are in good control here. Wesley, Stokes, and Gillespie. Then Markovic in the background there in 6th place. Then there's a pretty large gap back to the McLaren of Angel. Magasevic fighting to defend 8th place from Matt Wheeler, who's coming through the grid. Wheeler moves down the inside and should be through. Is through into 8th place. Showing that Corvette grunt as he climbs back through the field. Dean Reimers has spun it around again. Alex Hayes up into the points now. Rick Martel looking to get into that 10th and final points paying position. And he is through on Reimers. Actually, that's further back. That's not even in the points. It's 12th place he's grabbed. Monds still in the lead. Leading from Mark, Kahn, Stokes, Gillespie, Markovic. 7th is Magasevic as they've gone through on Angel. He's retaken Wheeler at some point as well. I wonder if Wheeler and Angel have had contact perhaps. Back here. So, okay, so Angel appears to have gone off on his own. Magasevic somewhere along the line is going to retake Wheeler here. Wheeler gets very, very wide. That's where it happens. This is the battle for 7th place between Magasevic and Wheeler, 2 of the veterans of Zero Racing. Light bit of contact. Magasevic gets the better of it through the twisty section, but into the straightaway where the Corvette is going to have, again, that massive grunt advantage over the Z4s. In the background, Gervais is attacking 9th place Angel. And then Hayes, Martel, and Reimers rounding off the field. Magasevic valiantly hanging on to 7th place for now, but we're heading into where the Corvette is at its strongest. That's the embankment section of this track. Long, full throttle section. Wheeler hits down low and takes the position. Interesting to see what Alex Hayes can do with these sections as well. He's currently in 11th place, which is pretty disappointing for the race winner from Mid-Ohio. Gervais has taken Angel for 9th place. At the front, it's still Monds leading from Mark, Kahn, Stokes, Gillespie dropping a little bit off the back in 5th place. Markovic in 6th. 7th for Wheeler. Wheeler in 7th place, Magasevic in 8th place, 9th for Gervais, and Hayes now in the last points paying position as Alan Angel loses the track again and drops back down to 12th. Jason Monds, another lap led, heading into lap 5, almost halfway, just about halfway done the race, which will be 11 laps. Still has Mike Mark in second after the battle with a couple of guys earlier on in the race. Wesley Stokes still third, or is now third, having overtaken Genghiz Khan. What has happened to Khan? It's like Khan just messed up in the embankment section and hit the wall. Let's see if this BMW is okay. Gillespie still fifth, then Markovic. Wheeler pulling away from Magasevic finally. Gervais is into 8th place ahead of Alex Hayes and Rick Martel. And Reimers. Actually, pardon me, it's Magasevic who is in 8th place. 9th place for Gervais and 10th place for Hayes. Martel, Angel, and Reimers currently outside the points. Gillespie putting the pressure on Khan after his mistake. Battle for 4th place. Alan Angel having another moment there. I think Mike Mark is closing in on Jason Monds just a little bit, but it could be Monds just setting a pace that he's comfortable with as opposed to Mark particularly having a pace edge. More than halfway home now for the Zagato Piston duo. All that talk about how the Z4s would not necessarily be the strongest here, and Matt Wheeler is the top non-Z4 in 7th place. Alex Hayes getting out a little bit wide there, but not really under enough pressure from Rick Martel. Also, again, this is the part of the track where the M6 should have a significant advantage with its better straight line speed. Nothing seemingly changing at the front since Genghiz Khan's mistake. It looked like he was going to come under pressure from Gillespie, but seems to have stabilized the gap. But the man who is coming on strong is Matt Wheeler. He's qualified on the front row and has definitely got some pace. Closing in on the back of Markovic. Stephane Gervais getting a little bit wide there. And pressure's on for that last points paying position. Rick Martel has got the pressure on Alex Hayes. We are heading into, again, the section of the track where the M6 should show its grunt. Although it has not really so far in this race, to be honest. See if the M6 shows its legs a little bit here heading into turn 1. Not really. Alex Hayes, we thought he would have a grunt advantage, but that M6 has not seemingly been able to break the toes of the Z4s in the main straightaways. Dean Reimers putting the pressure on to Alan Angel as he seeks to work his way up on the race 2 grid. It looks like points maybe not on the cards for the Aussie. I think Mike Mark is definitely closing in on Jason Monds. I'm starting to think it may be a pace differential, because you would think he would want to step up a little bit. But the man who probably has a pace problem might be Wesley Stokes. He's getting consistently reeled in by Genghiz Khan and by Quintus Gillespie in the 4th and 5th place cars, looking for that podium. Matt Wheeler, of course, coming on strong, looking to catch up. Hayes got a little bit of a gap back to Martel now. Kahn's going up the inside of Wesley Stokes into turn 1. I don't know if he's got it. Gets a little out of shape, but he's got the inside line heading into the next turn. He is through and into third place. Genghiz Khan back to third, the championship leader trying to keep his perfect podium run intact. Gillespie also looking to get around Stokes as well. Notably absent today is championship contender Alessio Bonis, and Martin Lauer continues to struggle to find time on the grid. The Jon Slow Racing team leader has yet to attend a round this season due to scheduling problems. Markovic in 6th place, but he's definitely a little ragged as he gets put under pressure by Wheeler. That Corvette coming into the strong section of the circuit for him. The embankment, Sector 3. Clocked at around 10 kilometers faster than the Z4s through this section. Markovic moves defensive to the inside line into corner 1. I don't think it's going to be enough, though. Magasevic and Gervais in the background in 8th and 9th place. It is enough, but very ragged. Very ragged. Wheeler goes through into 6th place. Last points being positioned still in the possession of Alex Hayes. Monds still losing ground, but I don't know if there's enough time, really. Kahn's still in 3rd, but Stokes is staying right with him, as is Quintus Gillespie, so I think this fight is not over yet. Wheeler, of course, is the danger man now in 6th place, ahead of Markovic. Magasevic, Gervais, and Hayes rounding off the points-paying positions as Rick Martel gets a lot of shape there in 11th. Jason Monds starts the penultimate lap. Here, lap 10, ahead of Mike Mark. Genghiz Khan has got a little bit of breathing room now. Stokes has got to worry more about Gillespie than trying to get back on the podium. Matt Wheeler, motoring along, has very much broken the toe. What has happened to Dule Markovic? Markovic was in 7th place. He's now out of the points as you saw Rick Martel overtaking him for 10th. Did we have contact, or did he just go off on his own? Looks like he went off on his own because no one was particularly close to him. So he heads into the last bit of the twisty sector of Sector 2. He just loses grip. The tires cry uncle. Of course, the tires at this point might be quite worn. And tries to motor off on the grass, and that doesn't work out too well. Through goes Magasevic. Through goes Gervais. Alex Hayes will be around shortly. There he is. And then the final points-paying position and pole for race 2 is coming up right there as Rick Martel motors on through. It's big news because Markovic was the #1 Academy driver in the race and has handed that spot to Mike Magasevic now, which will continue to allow him to get his stranglehold on the Academy Cup. Still the Zagato Piston 1-2 Monds from Mark. Khan, the championship leader, is in 3rd, and it looks like he may be able to hold it if he doesn't make any mistakes, because Wesley Stokes is dropping off the back end of him and definitely has to worry more about the Spalding RT entry of Quintus Gillespie in 5th place than he needs to worry about attacking Khan for that last podium position. Heading into the final lap, Gillespie still with the pressure on Wesley Stokes. A battle for 4th place. In the background, the Corvette is coming on strong, but I don't think is going to be a factor unless these two have it coming together. Gillespie makes the move stick through the first turn complex. We'll see if he can pull away or if Stokes can fight back. Somewhere along the line, Dean Reimers is pried 12th place away from Alan Angel. Coming around to the start-finish straight to take his 2nd win of the season is Jason Monds. Followed home by his teammate Mike Mark, and 3rd place going to Genghiz, an all-Canadian podium, with the Golden Bolt car making it up. Gillespie holds off Stokes for 4th place, and 6th place will belong to the top independent of Matthew Wheeler in the Corvette, as he does a little celebration at the end. Mike Magasevic is going to hold off debutant Stephane Gervais for 7th place and the Academy win. Gervais takes a hard-earned 8th place at his debut ahead of Alex Hayes, the BMW M6. And Rick Martel will be the man who will start from pole in race number 2 as he comes across the line in 10th place. Rounding out the field will be Dule Markovic, who ran 6th place most of this race, and just one mistake sees him score 0 points here today. Dean Reimers and Alan Angel round off the field in 12th and 13th position. So get ready for race number 2. We'll be right with you shortly. It's time for the second race of the Indianapolis round. This is the reverse grid race based on race 1 result. Meaning the 10th in the first race gets pole in the second race. So let's run down the grid, shall we? Starting on pole is the BMW Z4 of Rick Martel for Team Shosha. BMW M6 of Alex Hayes, independently run, will be number 2. Third on the grid will be Stephane Gervais of Team Jon Slow Racing. Mike Magasevic of Golden Bolt will start from P4. P5 will be Matt Wheeler in the independent rerun Corvette. P6 will be Wesley Stokes, Team Shosha. P7, Quintus Gillespie of Spalding RT. P8, Genghiz of Golden Bolt. P9, Mike Mark, runner-up in the race 1. And the winner of race 1, Jason Monds, and an all Zagato Piston, row 5. After that, it's Dule Markovic of Zagato Piston. Dean Reimers of Golden Bolt, and independently run McLaren 650S of Alan Angel. Let's get this underway. And they are off. Martel got a pretty decent start. Are we going to go 4 wide into corner 1? We might be going 4 wide into corner 1. Holy shit. Mike Magasevic is down the inside. Wheeler's beside him. Martel's in there. Only 3 wide. Magasevic gets through ahead of Martel and Wheeler. In the background, it looks like we've had a car off. It is Stephane Gervais and Wesley Stokes have gone off the track. Let's go take a look at what happened there. So they're side by side with Alex Hayes. Little pinball effect as Hayes contacts Stokes. It looks like Mike Mark finishes off Gervais. Stokes was out of control at that point, pretty well ballistic. Magasevic leads from Martel, Wheeler, and Hayes. Wheeler going up the inside of Martel for 2nd place. Can he get it? This is the part of the track where Wheeler's Corvette actually struggles a little bit, and he's going to be held off for now. Hayes loses control of the car. He was in third place. Fourth belongs to Mike Mark now. Quentin Gillespie, Jason Monds, Genghiz Khan, Dean Reimers, Alex Hayes, Alan Angel, Stephane Gervais, and Wesley Stokes, with Dule Markovic has also gone off and is at the back of the pack. Magasevic still in the lead, battling hard with Rick Martel and Matt Wheeler. Behind them is Mike Mark, Gillespie, Monds, and Khan, who were the top 4 in race 1. They have cleared through the grid reasonably well to 4th, 5th, and 6th, and 7th. Martel setting up to go defensive against Wheeler and also trying to attack Magasevic. Not going to work. Wheeler is just irresistible at this part of the track. That Corvette is so fast. And he's going to take the lead. Now, he is weak in the corners, so we'll see if Magasevic can come back at him. Things are getting very crowded before as it goes back to 7th place. Khan in this battle for 1st place. And Mark is coming up the inside of Rick Martel for 3rd place here on lap 2. He is through. Quentin Gillespie is now going to attack his arch nemesis Martel, but he's going to lose a spot to Jason Monds, who comes through. The race 1 winner is up to 5th place. That demotes Gillespie to 6th with Khan on his tail. You can also see Alex Hayes back in 8th place. 9th place belongs to Dean Reimers, and 10th to Alan Angel. Gervais is out of the points along with Stokes and Markovic. Meantime, Mike Mark has gotten up and around Magasevic for 2nd place somewhere in here. Let's go back and have a look at that. Just gets into the inside of him here, and boom, clean, simple pass. Martel still 4th. Monds in 5th place. 6th place Gillespie, 7th place Khan. They're all pretty well here. Wheeler's starting to sprint a little bit. This is the part of the track where he is strong. That Corvette is amazing in the 3rd sector. Martel under pressure from Monds, heading into the 1st sector. Gets to the inside, coming down the inside. Looks like Monds might have it. He goes through. Martel goes very wide. Looked like he just kind of ran up on the back of Mike Magasevic, who may have braked earlier, or Martel was going very hard on the brakes. Let's have a look here. Not particularly early on the brakes for Magasevic. I think Martel just went in a little too deep. Magasevic still 3rd. Monds is now 4th. Gillespie, then Martel. Genghiz Khan has had a bit of a moment and has lost a spot to Alex Hayes. What happened to him? Looks like he was trying to make a move on Gillespie and got a little too inside. Got the grass. And probably got a bit of a slowdown penalty there. Was ordered to give the spot back. And then loses to a spot to Hayes as well, dropping him down to 8th place. Stephane Gervais is up into the points, along with Wesley Stokes. They've cleared Alan Angel. Back at the front, Matt Wheeler running through here, currently in 1st place. He's very strong in the 3rd sector, but the 1st sector largely favors... Gillespie's having problems in the background. Let's have a look here. Magasevic defending 3rd from Jason Monds, while Quentin Gillespie is zipping in and out of picture, losing connection. See if this stabilizes or if we're going to have a retirement here in race number 2. And it's going to be a retirement because there goes Quentin Gillespie. Rick Martel promoted to 5th place ahead of Alex Hayes, 6th, Khan 7th, Reimers 8th, 9th for Gervais, and 10th for Stokes. Alan Angel falling to the back of the pack as he loses control of the car. Wheeler's still in the lead. It looks like the fight for 3rd is on. Monds is up the inside of Magasevic. Let's see what happens. Stokes in the background also looking to make a move on Gervais, who's gone defensive. Oh, contact! Monds gets contacted by Magasevic and punted onto the grass. We'll see if disciplinary action follows that. Monds rejoins the track ahead of Gervais in 8th place. Or, yeah, 8th place. Matt Wheeler leading the way from Mike Marks, still here on lap number 4. Magasevic is in 3rd. Alex Hayes is now up to 4th place. Rick Martel losing another spot. Genghiz Khan, 6th place. 7th place for Reimers. 8th place for Monds. 9th place for Gervais. And 10th for Stokes. That's the points being positions. Looks like Hayes made the pass stick on the beginning of the lap there into turn 1 probably. He now runs in 4th. We were saying this M6 should be strong here, and it wasn't really in race 1. Didn't really show the grunt. Has he made the appropriate adjustments to maybe take advantage of that larger engine? Mike Mark closing up on the back of Wheeler, but through this section, Wheeler should pull away a little bit. It's into the twistier bits of the 1st and 2nd sector that he will have problems keeping the Z4 behind him. Genghiz Khan lining up for a pass on Rick Martel. Pulls that into turn 1. Reimers actually looking to make a move on Monds by the looks of it. Khan is through and into 5th place. He'll go after Alex Hayes next. Monds has held off Reimers. Gervais holding off Wesley Stokes. And the 2 cars that have kind of dropped a little too far back are Markovic and Angel. Wheeler should show a little bit of legs here. Alex Hayes is closing onto the back of Magasevic there for 3rd. And I assume Genghiz Khan, who was a podium finisher in race 1, will be looking for more, especially with Mike Mark, race 1's runner-up, back into 2nd place. Jason Monds coming up to the back of Rick Martel as well. He's bringing Reimers with him, and Gervais is not too far behind, nor is Wesley Stokes. It's the battle for 6th place between Martel and Monds. So we are over halfway through the race. Monds going inside. And he's going to make that stick. That's a pass for 6th place. Meantime, Alex Hayes has made a move on Mike Magasevic and is up to 3rd in that M6. Pretty much a carbon copy of the move Monds was making actually on Martel. Just down the inside with a lot more grunt than that Z4. Reimers on the back of Martel. Also coming is Gervais. Back at the front, it's still Matt Wheeler leading the way, but you can see how wide he gets on those turns. The Corvette is a little bit harder on the tires, and also a little bit harder to control in turns than the Z4. This is where the equalizing factor comes in for its great straight line speed. Genghiz Khan putting the pressure on Magasevic now. Gervais and Stokes get very wide there. That M6 looks like it is a mighty handful for Alex Hayes right now, as Khan is going to get a better line into the stadium section, and he is going to take 4th from Mike Magasevic. Slips back to 5th place. Jason Monds is 6th. 7th is Martel, who's putting out a little bit of a gap to Reimers. Then it's Gervais and Stokes. Dean Reimers having a notably better race this time around. Finished 12th in race 1, is now in 8th place. Solid result so far. See this M6 work. It is faster in the straights than the Z4s, and I thought it would be better in the turns, to be honest. But Alex Hayes has not shown the greatest speed through the turns. He gets wide, he loses the back end! Spinning around, and through goes Khan, through goes Magasevic, through goes Monds, through goes Martel. I assume Reimers is not far behind him. I'm going to assume still... Oh, no, Reimers is quite a bit behind. Reimers has had a problem, I think. He's lost 2 spots. Let's have a look. Because he was ahead of Stephane Gervais and Wesley Stokes. He must have gone off somewhere. Just gets too deep onto turn 1. Yep, gets on the marbles, has to go wide, takes to the grass, loses 2 spots. Not good news for the Golden Bolt team. Matt Wheeler still leading the way. Now pretty much in a mano-a-mano battle with Mike Mark. Behind you can see Alex Hayes is going to be spinning out shortly, which is going to give Genghiz Khan 3rd place. As you can see, Khan comes through with Magasevic, and then Monds in 5th place. Wheeler had a rough race 1, went off the track, had a hard time recovering, eventually did come home 6th. It gave him a pretty solid starting position for race 2, and he has made the most of it. But he gets very wide, loses the back end. Mark is going to have a run on him into the stadium section, but that Corvette grunt might make it hard to make a pass stick there. Looks like the Corvette is going to retain the lead. Matt Wheeler looking to become the 2nd independent winner during the weekday, as Alex Hayes took race 2 at Mid-Ohio. Wesley Stokes, somewhere along the way, has picked up a spot over Stephane Gervais for 7th place. Very slow-moving Dean Reimers there. I wonder if that's a problem. Wheeler's still holding on, but this is the part of the track that the Corvette does struggle on. You can see it gets a little bit wider in each corner. Can't quite stick to the apex as well as the Z4. Magasevic in 4th, but under pressure from Jason Monds. He finished 4th here last season, by the way, for Team Audi in the DTM era. Gervais putting some pressure back on Wesley Stokes in the back of your shot. Magasevic qualified 11th for race 1, keep in mind. He was grid 11, got up to 7th in race 1, and has run pretty much in the top 5 all through this race. He's going to get very high here. Either a mistake or perhaps an intentional letting past of Jason Monds. They had contact earlier, which may explain the lack of a fight he's putting up. Looks like he's trying to make a move back, but the line is far superior where Jason Monds is, and he'll easily take 4th place. Martel now under a lot of pressure from Wesley Stokes, and Stephane Gervais will be with them shortly. Alex Hayes, Dean Reimers rounding off the points. Mike Mark is sliding back into the lead. He makes a good move. Let's have a little quick replay of that. Looks like it's kind of like what we've said. I mean, Wheeler just cannot maintain the inside line as well anymore. Loses the spot. Clicks back into 2nd place. Now he's going to have to wait for that 3rd sector to see if he can make a move back. We're going to stick with this for a while. This straightaway is going to favor the Corvette, as we've said, but can he get the braking zone right? Because he seems to be struggling with tires. Mike Mark, who has only won once in his career, is looking
for that second win. Having a very good start to the season, as Zagato Piston's number 2 man, but really putting the pressure on Jason Monds for that team leadership role. Goes defensive for the first turn. Wheeler's going to get close, but I don't think he has necessarily a play here. The Corvette is not necessarily the strongest on the brakes. Could just be my imagination, but a little bit of a swerve there from Mike Mark. But nothing too bad. Kahn third, Monds fourth, Magasevic fifth. The Wesley Stokes, Stephane Gervais battling with Rick Martel over 6th place continues. Martel still holding the position. He started this race on pole, of course. Alex Hayes, Dean Reimers kind of just running their own races in 9th and 10th. Markovic and Angel round off the field. Quintus Gillespie has retired with technical difficulties. Mike Mark getting a little out of shape. And this opens up in a straightaway. Can Wheeler get the pressure down and retake the lead? A little bit of a fade from Mark. He manages to hold the position. But this is not over. And it's interesting because, of course, the Z4 and the Corvette have very, very different, strong sections of the track. The Corvette is excelling in the stadium section and on straightaways, where the Z4 can really stick to a line a lot better than the Corvette, especially as we've seen the Australian driver Matt Wheeler have some problems with tires in the later stages of races. He will be entering the final lap as the chaser, though. Mike Mark still leading the way. See if he can make a move here into turn 1. He's going deep. Oh, close! Mark's got the inside of this turn. Wheeler was ahead, but now Wheeler is ahead. The Corvette has done it. Matt Wheeler back into the lead on this last lap. Genghiz Khan is rounding off the podium as we speak. Jason Bonds, Mike Magasevic, Wesley Stokes. Rick Martel, Wesley Stokes, Stephane Gervais, Alex Hayes, and Dean Reimers. Wheeler has lost the lead again. Mike Mark has gotten the Z4 back in front. This was the same spot I think he made the pass last time as well. Look at that Z4 just being able to hold such a tighter line in the corner than the Corvette. But can Wheeler make a comeback? He's going to have one last chance. I assume it's going to be in the stadium sector. Maybe here even. I mean, this is the other place where I think the Corvette has some big umps. Magasevic might have made a mistake. He's dropped a little bit off the back. Mike Mark made a mistake in the twisty bit. That's a key thing because that's where his car is stronger. Genghiz Khan is coming on strong as well, but I feel there's not enough laps left for him to take advantage of the squabbling in front of him. Mark's still leading. Wheeler coming on strong. He can make up this gap, but I don't know if there's a passing opportunity without that first turn. And it's going to be Mike Mark who comes across the line in first place, followed by the Corvette of Matt Wheeler. Genghiz Khan's got third ahead of Monds, Magasevic. Rick Martel does in fact hold off Wesley Stokes and Stephane Gervais. But there's your winner, Mike Mark. Solid first and second place for the Zagato Piston boy. Double win for Zagato Piston. Monds taking fourth. Championship leader Genghiz Khan in third. Magasevic there getting a little bit of harassment on the cool down lap from the Corvette. And then it was the Rick Martel train leading home Wesley Stokes, Stephane Gervais. 9th place for Alex Hayes, 10th place for Dean Reimers, 11th for Dule Markovic, and 12th place for Alan Ann. That is all for the weekday round from Indianapolis. We'll be back here for the weekend round of this historic motor speedway in a little bit.